All right, Ollie, now that every team has logged at least 90 minutes of play, we can unveil Onesoccer'S first Gatorade Team of the Week. And Ollie, let's start in goal and work our way through the 11. Good hand save of the week and top keeper honors for Tristan Henry.
Yeah, obviously this is going to be a heavily forging Cavalry influenced team just because they have double the sample size of everyone else. But I think there's been a few good goalkeeping performances. Carducci's been Carducci, Nacho Zabal had a good debut for Ottawa. But Tristan Henry's just been very solid, and I think, as I say, I think he's feeling really comfortable in there now. You know, this isn't a player that Forge have to protect or have to worry about. He's a real kind of leadership figure, I think, now in that team, and someone they rely on.
All right, up next, let's go up to the back line. We'll stick with the traditional four-back setup, Ollie, and you've chosen Dean Northover, Dominic Zator, Daniel Crutzen, and Kwame Awuah.
Yeah, Northover I just think is an underrated player. You know, he doesn't really stand out, but when he goes out there, he never really puts a foot wrong. Rob Gale was talking up Fraser Ayres as one of the best players in the league, and Northover shut him down in that first game. So he was terrific. Great goal from Kwame Awuah. We all know about his quality. And then Zator and Crutzen, you know, what more can you say about those two? Zator's being as physical as ever. He's a threat on set pieces. And Daniel Crutzen, just a complete class act, and someone who I don't think, unfortunately for us, will be in the league that long because he's just got that much quality. He'll go to another level for sure.
I couldn't agree with you more. And Dean Northover, underrated on the pitch and underrated Muzzy. That thing is phenomenal.
Great haircut as well.
Yeah, he's looking good. He got the groomer doing a very good job for him. I hope he's tipping them well. Okay, some very good performances in the center of the park, but only 3 can crack the team. Tell us why you've chosen Kyle Becker, Alex Ashenidoti-Janssen, and Javier Acuna.
Well, I'll continue on the underrated theme with Janssen. I talked with Bobby Smaniotis about him a bit earlier today, and he said, you know, number 6s, those defensive midfielders tend not to get the credit they deserve, and he's an example of that. Someone, again, who just logs minutes, doesn't really get talked about as one of Forge's top players, but he is one of Smaniotis' first names on the team sheet, and he should be held in that regard. Great defensive midfielder. Kyle Becker, obviously an important goal against Cavalry, and just continuing to be Kyle Becker from last year, one of the top players in the league. And the guy I think Ottawa can build around is Acuna. He just looks a class act. He's got so much quality, plays between the lines, really linking things up for them. And he outplayed York 9, albeit without a few key York 9 midfielders in the lineup.
Yeah, Acuna was just one of the many surprises that Ottawa had for us in their debut. Okay, Ollie, finally up front, we saw 16 goals so far in this tournament, some clinical PK taking as well. But your selections for the week, Mr. Platt, Marco Bustos, Marcus Haber, and Mohamed Farsi.
Yeah, Marco Bustos, I think he can play better than he did in that first game. He wasn't really in the game for long periods, but then he does what top players do. He was decisive when it counted, right, with what looked like it would be the winning goal. The Pacific, again, another late comeback there cancelled that out, but that's the kind of moment they're going to need from him. Marcus Haber just looks like a guy reborn. Talked a bit with Tommy Wooden Jr. about him, and he's emphasised that he had some back problems last year, really wasn't feeling himself, and he thinks he's over those now and could be a different player.